Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video because a couple days ago I tweeted out, and I also posted this on my Instagram story, but I wanted to know what some of your favorite drugstore products were, and I wanted to know if there were some products from the drugstore that you just absolutely love, that you feel like are underrated or aren't really talked about. And I got so many fabulous responses, so thank you so much. I went shopping, let me tell you. I went to my Walmart, I went to Ulta, and I picked up a full face of the products that you guys recommended, and I'm so excited to try them out just because, I don't know, I feel like for this video the roles have been reversed. You guys are the ones who have tried out the products and you're recommending them to me instead of me recommending products to you. So I'm super excited. I have tons of new products to try out. A lot of these products I had never even heard of. Some of them are newer to the drugstore. Some of them look like they've been around for a while just because I've seen some of them, and I'm just super excited to try them out. So I have a completely blank face. My brows are even bare because I got some brow product recommendations. Where is it? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to try out is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. There were a couple of you that recommended this to me. I picked up the shade Ash Brown. So it's got a nice spoolie on one end and then a really nice, pretty microfine tip. So this is what it looks like. You know what? I feel like I may have tried this out forever ago, but I got the wrong shade completely and my eyebrows looked red. So I'm hoping that this ash brown shade will be a lot better because I never actually picked up this pencil again. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in my brows. Whoops. It has a super unique consistency. Like it's almost a little bit more dry than some of my other brow pencils, but because of that, I feel like it's really easy to apply and it's really easy to kind of mimic those hair-like strokes because of the texture. Like I feel like that looks pretty dang good. Honestly, every time I fill my brows, I'm like, oh, thank heavens for brow pencils, especially if you've got brows anything like mine. It just transforms the face. Another thing I'm liking about this brow pencil as I'm using it is I feel like it's really hard to draw a super harsh line. Sometimes I struggle with drugstore brow pencil formulas just because it's hard for me to find a pencil that like doesn't draw too dark right off the bat. And I feel like I've been able to really have a lot of control with the strokes with this pencil, so I'm really liking it. So there are the brows. I have to say I really liked this pencil and I'm excited to see how it wears. Let's see. Let's do the eyes first. I usually like to do that even if it's going to be something that's going to be a little bit more of a wearable look, just in case the eyeshadows have fallout. Since I'm not familiar with the eyeshadows I'm going to use, I'm going to just go ahead and start with the eyes. So one of you guys recommended the Ulta Beauty Full Coverage Liquid Concealer. I'm really excited to try this out. I got the shade Light Warm. This was the lightest shade that they had, and I'm really a little bit nervous that the shade might not work, which sometimes is a little bummer. So, okay, let's see if that works. It looks a little too warm tone for me. My skin tone is definitely more neutral. We'll try to make it work, but I'm just gonna put a little bit of that on the eyelid and blend it out with a sponge. The fact that it's waterproof probably makes it a really good eyeshadow base, to be honest. So after blending it out, it doesn't seem as like yellow, so I think this could be really great. I'm gonna go ahead and set that. Sorry, I keep like looking down. I'm like trying to find the products. I'm gonna go ahead and set that with the Rimmel Stay Matte Mattifying Loose Powder. This was recommended by one of you guys, and there were a few setting powders that were recommended, but for some reason this one just like caught my attention just because it has a little bit of a pinky undertone to it, which is typically brightening, and I had never heard of it before. Actually, I have another Rimmel powder that I've tried, but I've never tried this one. Well, I guess I've tried the Stay Matte Press powder, which is this one right here. I love this, so I was really curious about the loose version of the powder. So I'm just gonna take some in the lid right here, and I'm just going to press that on the eyelid. Honestly, you guys, it was so fun reading through my tweets and my DMs and just hearing your recommendations, because like it's so fun for me to discover new products and hear about what you guys love from the drugstore, because you guys know how I feel about the drugstore. I love finding great products that are affordable, and you all just came through and recommended products for me. I could have honestly made like 3 of these videos with a full face of all these products, and actually I would love to make more videos like this because I just love to interact with you and just feel like you guys are more involved in videos. So, all right, for eyeshadow, there was actually only like one eyeshadow palette that was recommended. Well, there were a couple. Both of them were Makeup Revolution. So this one I've had my eye on for a while, and as soon as somebody recommended it, I was like, say no more, I'm going to go pick it up. This is the Makeup Revolution Soph X. I don't know how you say her name. I know she's a YouTuber. I'm honestly not very familiar with her channel. She created a beautiful eyeshadow palette. Will you guys please help me and let me know how you pronounce that? Are we serious? This is beautiful. This is such a pretty palette. You guys know I've tried out Makeup Revolution eyeshadows before. I'm very impressed with the formula. If this is anything like the others, I feel like I will like the formula. I'm really just, I don't know what we should do today. I'm gonna start off by mixing these two shades right here. Love this large mirror in the palette, and it's actually a really good quality mirror. But I'm just gonna go ahead and sweep that all over the lid to kind of create an even more flawless base for the eyeshadows to glide over. Next, let's go into this shade right here. It's a really pretty, like almost mustard brown, and this is gonna be a really nice transition shade. Yes, oh my gosh. This eyeshadow palette was like $15, I think. For all these colors, you've got to be kidding me. And I'm actually really liking this color. Once it's applied to the eyes, it definitely applies a little bit more yellow than brown when you apply it, but honestly, I'm really liking it. Just making sure to really blend it out toward the brows, or the end of the brows, I mean, into this inner corner here. We're not gonna be too worried about any eyeshadow here because we can clean that up easily in just a second. There's a ganette flying in my lights. I wasn't actually sure what direction I wanted to go with this makeup look, but I don't know. I'm feeling like going like a little bit springy, summery, bringing some of these brighter colors into it. So let's play with this one. I'm just gonna go ahead and dip my brush into this. I feel like this is gonna be cool, kind of layered on top of that other shade. You know what? I'm just gonna put it all over the lid and blend it up toward the crease. But yeah, this formula is definitely really, really nice, just like all the other Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palettes. I feel like these are such good quality. So many of you guys recommended Makeup Revolution and Essence. I feel like those were the top two brands that you feel like aren't talked about enough, that have like incredible products that, you know, need to be used and explored a little more on YouTube. So I would have to agree. I have to admit though, I haven't really tried too much Essence. I grabbed a couple things today. I'm super excited to try them. But so I'm gonna go into this kind of mauve purple shade, and I want to just kind of add this to the outer third of the eye. I'm kind of wanting to dull down the color a little bit, just because I do have some like more mauve-y things that I want to use on like the cheeks and the lips. So I'm trying to make sure that by the end of it, the look will be cohesive and will kind of match the blush and the lip color. This is beautiful. So now I'm just taking these two shimmer shades on my finger. I'm just gonna go ahead and pat that all over the lid, just using my finger to initially apply the color and then a brush to kind of blend it out. I definitely feel like these shimmer shades in like all the Makeup Revolution palettes apply so much better when you use your finger. So now I'm gonna take a flat brush and go into this dark brown. It has almost a purple undertone. I'm actually just going to draw a little wing using this shadow. I'm not gonna wet the brush because I want it to be really soft. And it's really just gonna be a soft little wing over to like the center of the eye. I'm not actually gonna define the inner corner just because it's so soft. I don't feel like I really need to. I just want most of that light definition to kind of be on that outer corner. So now we're just gonna take a makeup wipe and we're gonna go ahead and clean up the under eye area. There actually was not that much fallout. There's a little bit of the glitter shades, but other than that, there was not any fallout. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clean up the edges of the eyeshadow with the makeup wipe. So we have a really nice shape as well as a really nice clean canvas underneath the eyes. Cool, I'm really liking how this is turning out. Okay, let's move on to Complexion. I've heard about this primer so much, so when it was recommended, I knew I had to try it out finally. It's the NYX Angel Veil Primer. It's a skin perfecting primer. I've heard that this is amazing. Just haven't tried it yet, so I'm just gonna take a little dollop. Ooh, and let's apply this to the skin. Was that too much? Oh dear, this might have been too much. It kind of exploded on my hand. We're gonna really work it into the skin. I think I applied way too much. Ooh. Okay, now that I have that spread out all over my skin, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I certainly can. It looks like my skin has a blurring filter on it. No, it doesn't look flawless because I do have the blemishes, okay? But it looks like it was blurred. This is great. Oh my gosh, really, really like what that did to my skin. It definitely feels silicone based, definitely feels like it's pore filling. Let's move on to foundation. The Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-hour breathable foundation was recommended. I picked mine up in the shade 103 True Ivory. A lot of you guys said that you felt like Rimmel was a brand that's not really talked about either. So that's why I wanted to try a foundation that was recommended from them. So look at this applicator, it's pretty fun. I'm just gonna go ahead and draw some lines on my face. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna need of this yet, so I'm gonna start off with that much first. Let's go ahead and blend it out with a brush. That's how I like to do it usually. I will go ahead and blend out the foundation with a brush first, and then I will pat out any brush lines with a sponge. Immediately it seems like a more medium coverage, so I'm just gonna go ahead and keep building this until I get the amount that I want all over the skin. However, I do have a concealer that was recommended for spot concealing, so I'm really just gonna go ahead and even out the skin tone with this foundation. That's what I've been liking to do anyways. You guys know I've been kind of into a more, you know, just even out the skin tone. If there's something that's showing through, don't flip out and like add more foundation, just spot conceal. It looks way more natural, and I've really liked how that's worked for me recently, so that's what I'm gonna do. This does have a pretty strong fragrance, I will say, and sometimes my skin does not like fragrances. Sometimes it can really irritate it, so I guess we'll find out with this one. But my first impressions though is that it's a really nice medium coverage foundation. I like the finish of it for sure. It actually blended out really nicely. I don't even know if I need to use a sponge over top, but I will anyways. So there's the foundation. You can still definitely see some of my blemishes, and it did kind of cling to some of my dry areas. However, that could have also been the primer. I probably should have like exfoliated pretty well before doing this. I'm adding a little bit more to this blemish here. I got the weirdest blemish. Isn't that the weirdest spot for like a blemish? It's kind of crazy, but just gotta put a little more there to conceal it. Okay, I'm excited to try this. The Maybelline Master Conceal Concealer was recommended for blemishes alone. As soon as I saw that, I was like, girl, you know me so well. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit on the back of my hand. I'm gonna take my IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe No. 7 brush with some of that concealer, and we're just gonna start dabbing this onto areas that need a little more help. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit and then pat it out with a sponge. So I definitely do feel like that concealer worked well for covering blemishes. As always, texture is impossible to cover, but redness definitely is. So some of the areas that have a little more texture, you can still obviously see my blemishes, but that worked pretty well. I just dabbed a little bit on that nose blemish. Pretty good. All right, so let's conceal the under eyes. I was actually planning on using the Ulta one because the lovely girl who recommended it to me said she really liked how it was brightening, and so I wanted to try it under the eyes. Again, this is a little bit dark for what I like on the under eye area, so we're gonna give it a shot. If I need to lighten it up, I might try to with a different concealer just because it's so warm toned. I wish they would make a lighter shade in this that had a little bit more of a pinky undertone. But that got rid of all the dark circles. What? And honestly, you guys, it looks so nice and smoothing underneath the eyes. I feel like once it dries down, like, I feel like I can make it work, you know? Like, it doesn't look as macaroni and cheese colored as it does when I first apply it. I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this out under the other eye. Honestly, though, dark circles gone. So, I would normally use something lighter to conceal down the center of the nose. I'm just actually taking some of that Maybelline Master Concealer for down the center of the face. I'm just gonna blend that out really quick. And it's been such a long time since I've done, like, a matte complexion, and I'm actually really liking it. I'm just gonna brush the brows up a little bit. Sometimes they get a little out of place when I'm doing my complexion. So to set the face, we're gonna use the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder again. I should have really hydrated my face underneath this because all these products are pretty mattifying. Nothing wrong with that, but I probably should have thought ahead a little more. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this. I'm gonna set the under eyes. It's extremely finely milled. And it feels really smooth on the skin too. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set the under eyes and the rest of the face with this powder. So now that our face is set, let's go ahead and finish the eyes. I'm gonna go back into the Makeup Revolution palette, and we're basically just gonna use the same colors that we used on the top lid. So let's go ahead and start. What did I use first? Yes, this. I'm gonna use this brownish mustardy color, and we're just going to go ahead and run that on the lower lash line. And as always, connecting it to the existing shadows here. Next, I'm gonna take that mauve shade and just really lightly buff this on the outer third of that lower lash line, and also I'm gonna connect it to the existing shadows as well. This palette really is beautiful. Next, I'm gonna take a smaller brush and we're gonna go into the shimmer shades we used on the top lid, and I'm gonna run these under the lower lash line. I love putting like shimmery eyeshadows on the lower lash line, especially like in the inner third. I just feel like it makes your eyes look bigger and like more ethereal. I really love how it looks. And I think that's about how how much I want. Let's go into mascara. So many of you guys said Essence mascara, but like some of you were like, oh, all the Essence mascaras are great, and some of you gave me specifics. I think actually a couple of you may have recommended this one exactly. It's the Essence Volume Stylist 18-Hour Lash Extension Mascara. I have eyeshadow on my eye. I'm so excited to try this because I've heard so many great things about Essence mascaras, and this was like $5. So let's go ahead and apply it. See what happens. I really like the spoolie on this for sure. Wow. You guys know I love a good volumizing mascara. This also seems to really curl the lashes and gives pretty good separation as well. Okay, people. That is seriously so gorgeous. Just trying to dust off any mascara marks. Wow. As you know from my last video, I've tried a bunch of mascaras. I know a good mascara when I try one on. This is a good mascara. Like, if this wears well, I'm so excited. I love the separation, the length, the curl that it gave. The applicator was great. The consistency was like perfect. Guys, I'm so excited you recommended Essence mascaras. I've been meaning to try those for so long, and I'm so glad that I finally did because my lashes look nice. Okay, for bronzer, this is another Essence product I picked up. This is the Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. One of you recommended just Essence bronzers in general. There wasn't a specific one. And since a lot of you guys were saying that Essence was a great brand that you wish more people talked about, I decided I would pick this up. It smells amazing. It smells like coconut. It smells a lot like the So Chill Coconut Smashbox Primerizer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this all over the skin. It seems like it's a really nice light color, which is gonna be great for my fair skin because sometimes it's hard to find bronzers that like aren't too dark for me and that build up really nicely. My first impression so far, this really applies super smooth to the skin. I'm really into the undertone. It just makes my skin look really healthy. It's got that perfect like warm undertones, not too red, not too cool tone. I'm going to take some of this down the side of the nose. So as you know, I like to apply this to the outer portions of the face or wherever I feel like putting bronzer, usually around the perimeter of the forehead, into the hairline a little bit. And I don't really worry too much about how it looks initially because I always go back in with another brush and blend it out. Going back into the same brush we used with the translucent powder, I'm just going to lightly go over all the bronzer to really soften that up. Wow, that looks really natural, doesn't it? It seriously just adds a healthy glow to the skin and it doesn't look like too much. You guys, your recommendations. I feel like you guys should just take over my channel. That's really pretty. If you're kind of worried about looking muddy, this applied beautifully. Okay, for blush, where to go, where to go, where to go, where to go. Super excited that one of you guys recommended the NYX Ombre Blush, specifically in the shade Mauve Me, or Mauve Me. All right, look how pretty this is. Isn't that so pretty? Hopefully, you know, that shimmer shade will tie in with this blush color. That's the plan anyway, so let's give this a go. I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of put my brush all over to get a lot of the pigment, and I'm not sure how much pigment there is in this blush, so I'm just treading carefully. It seems like it has a little bit of a sheen to it, which you guys know I like. I feel like that makes your skin look really, really healthy. That's really pretty. It looks really natural. I almost wish that I would have tried to match the eyeshadow look with this a little bit more, because I feel like with this look, it needs something a little bit more pink. But regardless, the blush is really pretty. I'm just going over that with that same brush to make sure that it's blended nicely into the bronzer. Let's move to highlighter. The Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter was recommended. I picked up the one in the shade Golden Lights. This looks beautiful. Just gonna take that on a Morphe R36 brush. Not sure how much to use. Ooh. Oh my gosh, so once it's applied, it's definitely a true gold. But one thing I'm noticing is how it really just kind of melts into the skin. Like it doesn't have like chunky glitters in it. It just has a really beautiful sheen. Let's put this down the center of the nose. Sometimes I don't always know though if like golden, like true golden highlighters work on me. I don't know. Maybe it's just like my personal preference. It probably is because of my skin undertone. I'm more neutral, so I find that anything that has a little bit of a pink blends into my skin tone slightly better than something that's a true gold. But this is still really beautiful, and they had several colors. I just picked this one, so maybe a different color would work better for me, but I definitely like how it blends into the skin. That's definitely my kind of highlight. Just not quite sure if I love how golden it is, but that's just a personal thing. I'm also going to take that same highlighter. I bet this is going to be really pretty in the inner corner. I just love highlighting the inner corner of the eye. And that one actually looks really nice because, again, it's not glittery. It just kind of melts into the skin and looks really natural. Like you can hardly see that it's there, but you can. Just going to take what's left on that brush and put it right underneath the brow bone. So now let's go ahead and set the brows. I'm going to touch up the brows a little bit. I always do this if I do my brows first because sometimes the complexion products can fade the structure of the brow, so I always like to make sure that it's still there before I lock it in with the brow gel. And a lot of you guys recommended the Essence Make Me Brow Gel. I did try this out, but I tried the blonde one and it was just way too light. So I picked up the other shade to try it again. This is the shade 2 Brownie Brows. Let's just brush this through the brows. Nice. Okay, let's remove any foundation on the lips. So for lips, there were 2 lipsticks that I found that were recommended that really intrigued me. One of them was from Essence as well. It's the Matte lipstick and I got the shade 02. There actually wasn't an exact shade that was recommended, just the formula in general. And I really like this one because I tend to really like more purpley undertones in a lipstick. I just feel like it's flattering for me. I don't know. So I picked that one. And then another one that was recommended was the Burt's Bees lipstick in the shade 501 Blush Basin. This one looks pretty too. Guys, what do we do? Do we mix them? Let's start with the Essence all over the lips. Then we might add the other one in the center. So I'm going to apply this one first. So there's the Essence lipstick by itself. It's really, really pretty. I like how the formula is matte, but it's not like drying matte. And I'm trying to figure out if I like it with this eye look. I feel like my eye look is almost a little too warm toned. I went too warm with the eyes today, dang it. Let's try to add this blush one in the center of the lips, see what happens. If not, I might have to just use this one. This one is much more of a cream. I do feel like that helped a little bit. I'm actually gonna try on the blush one alone, and then we will decide what the final lip look will be. Let's give this a go. Yes, I think that is a perfect match for the eye look. The formula is definitely more cream, a little bit more glossy, but not too glossy. But I love how that looks with the colors that are in the crease. Love it. Okay, last but not least, so many of you guys said that the Hard Candy setting sprays were good. I picked up the brightening setting spray. There were like 4 options and I just felt like brightening was such a unique setting spray. I've never heard of a brightening setting spray and I'm into brightening products. So I actually haven't tried too much from Hard Candy at all. And a lot of you guys said that that brand is one of your favorites too. Look at this. Oh. Do you see that? After I spray it, watch. Can you guys see this? After I spray it, it like squirts. I hate when I get a defective sprayer. We're gonna give it a go anyway, even though it squirts. Let's see what happens. I'm nervous. See that? Okay, I sprayed it far enough away to where I don't think it hit me. Hopefully just the mist hit. It's like leaking bad. Darn it. I might have to go swap it out for a different one. But that is it, you guys. That completes this makeup look. Thank you guys so much for your help in recommending these products to me. I love how this makeup look turned out. Honestly, I was impressed with every single product. I'm excited to see how they wear. I won't be doing a wear test in this video, but I will definitely keep you posted on how I feel about the products, and I will definitely continue to use them and let you guys know what I think. But honestly, I was really impressed with how everything applied. I really think that this final look looks really high-end. I didn't have issues with anything except for the spray bottle on the Hard Candy setting spray. But overall, I think it's a really, really pretty look, and all the products were really great recommendations. So thanks again, you guys. Let me know in the comments below if you guys would want to see more videos like this, because I genuinely love trying out new products, especially if it's from you guys. And I really like how you guys have drugstore recommendations for me too, because I'm a huge fan of drugstore products, especially when they are incredible and they are affordable. So if you guys want to see more of these videos, let me know in the comments below. And also, if you didn't get a chance to, leave a comment letting me know what your favorite underrated drugstore product is and why you love it so much. So let me know that as well in the comments. I always ask you to comment so many things, but it's seriously so fun for me to read through the comments, so let me know. And that is everything. As always, join the family by hitting the subscribe button on your way out. And if you guys want to be a part of the notification squad, after you subscribe, there'll be a little bell that you can click on to be notified every time I upload. I upload 3 times a week, so you won't want to miss out. Also, if you guys haven't seen it, my 200,000 subscriber giveaway is going on right now, and there are 200 winners. I know. so crazy. So click in the description. I will leave a link for you guys to go check that out if you haven't yet. Thanks again to everybody who participated and who recommended products to me. I wish I could have tried out every single one of your recommendations. I definitely will keep a list of those of you who I didn't get to try yet, and hopefully I'll be able to try some of your recommendations in the future. So I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!